Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and as Nathan Hamilton, the voice of violence, would say, and everyone in between. My name is Drew Dickinson. Everybody knows me as Drewski. I am the mouth of Deep South, the microphone maverick. That's right. And this is Rasslin Down Here, episode 4. Once again, joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Jeremy York, the Impact Jeremy York to be exact. Jeremy, what's going on, man? How you doing on this Tuesday evening?
Doing pretty good actually. Been a decent start to the week. Eventful weekend. I know we're going to get a little more into it. You were a little more involved in the weekend than I was, but looking forward to talking about some Deep South wrestling.
And if you're not picking up what Jeremy is putting down, he is referring to the first ever, the inaugural BELTLINE Mania, the 2-day event put on by Deep South Wrestling. Of course, we spoke about it last week. Jeremy and I spoke together in brief about day one. I spoke alone about day two. And today we're here to speak about the fallout from the entire weekend. Well,
Good word there.
we'll talk about it. Not that not that I remember much from Saturday, as opposed to getting kicked in the face, amongst many other things. But we'll get there indeed in time. But like I was saying, day one at New Realm Brewing, it was quite the start of the weekend. I know the main event was, from what I hear, incredible. Carly Bravo taking on Austin Towers. Austin Towers, Jeremy, I think you can agree with me, getting if not one of, most certainly the biggest win of his career by pinning Carly Bravo 1, 2, 3 inside the middle of the ring.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Friend of the show. He has appeared on my show, Austin Towers has, and Carly Bravo. As many great conversations I've had with him, continues to duck me and not come on my show. But it's cool, Carly. It's totally cool. Got no problem with Carly Bravo. But knowing that Austin Towers got a chance to showcase that he can be a top guy in this scene and getting one over on Carly Bravo, which is not an easy person to beat. He is very unorthodox. He is very kind of all over the place in a match enough to where Carly's kind of hard to stick with. But knowing Austin got the win for him, good for Austin. Nothing personal to Carly, but I think it was. We finally got to see what Austin Towers is really made of.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Austin Towers continuing to climb that pedestal that is the rankings in Deep South Wrestling. You got to believe that a title shot has to be around the corner for the Big Chief as he continues to get it done time in and time out. But back to bad news and tattoos, Carly Bravo. He had himself quite the fucking weekend in the state of Georgia. Not only did he start out the weekend in Royston, taking on, in my opinion, the best wrestler, not just in the state of Georgia, but arguably in the Southeast in the independent circuit, Hollywood Hunter James, which they both called each other their wrestling soulmate. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Maybe you have. Have you had a chance to see that match yet? Okay, so we don't really need to talk about it, but what we can talk about is kind of the fantasy of it. I saw when it was announced. It wasn't announced long in advance, which I kind of think was really cool. Which I think that was kind of what made the allure of it more badass,
Yeah.
because those two names on the top of the marquee for me sells itself. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I haven't watched it. I don't know who went over it, and to me, that's really pointless. As long as I got enough time to shine and do what they had. I mean, like I said, dude, they both referred to each other. I mean, it was their first time ever wrestling. They referred to each other as each other's soulmates. Sorry, I'm still in a little bit of pain, so it's some of my words are still struggling to come out, and I'm cotton mouth like a bitch. But anyways, I the reason why is because I lost my last straw, so it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to sit. But anyways, Carly, then the next day coming in, make not just coming into Deep South Wrestling, Jeremy, but making his Deep South Wrestling debut at what I think is going to become the biggest event that Deep South puts on, and main event. against somebody. What is Towers almost 7 foot tall? Gotta be that. Gotta be close, right?
We might be cheating him by saying he's almost. I think he's over 7 foot.
Okay, okay, and just a monster, just a badass. What a big victory it was for him. We also saw the intergender match, Gemma Jules and Nathaniel Vanderbilt against Rose Gold and a mystery partner. Her mystery partner turned out to be C Dub, and I feel like a huge piece of shit because it's one of those parts of the night that Jeremy. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man. I just don't remember. I remember the big deal about C Dub coming back, and it was awesome. Anytime that he's involved with anything, anywhere, especially at Deep South, it's just fun, man. It's just organic, you know?
he is. He wrestles way more than the person I'm going to compare him to. But for people who don't know what a C Dub is, it is Deep South Danhausen. He is
I knew you were
just
going to do that.
entertainment. He is just charisma. He's just excitement if he's ever around. He had a banger of a match with Nagicism a couple months back that nobody saw coming. I'll be the first to admit. He's
Literally,
slowly earning
nobody
his
saw
spot.
coming.
Yeah,
Literally. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to emphasize that he came out of the fucking crowd.
he did. He was about 7 seats over from where I was, and I was like, why is C Dub getting it? Oh, he's going to challenge Nagicism, and then it was a banger. But
Pretty
yeah,
cool. Go ahead,
I
continue.
mean, if you're gonna have a mystery partner, why not have somebody just as out of nowhere as that? Because that's somebody your opponent can never prepare for.
Well, and it's one of those things. Have you seen the trend lately? Whether someone's being a smartass or not, when they say easy for me to say, long-term storytelling.
Yeah,
You remember years back, Gemma and C Dub, they didn't really see eye to eye. So he kind of owed her one. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
So
believe
just
he
stuff
caught the
just comes
underside of
back
a table,
around.
right?
Huh?
I believe he caught the underside of a table thanks to her or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
I, I believe you're exactly right. Now back to Beltline Mania. Like I said, unfortunately, it just I don't remember much of the match. I just know that it happened. I also had the pleasure of once again seeing the Raw, the international draw, August Artois. Dude, I fucked up so bad. He is the current IPW champion up in Canada, and instead of saying
Hmm.
FIP, Full Impact Pro, I said FIPW, and it.
Oh,
Yeah, well, we talked about it before. I don't know what my deal was. I messed that up, and he hasn't stopped giving me shit about it since. So there that is. But August went 1-on-1 with Quattro Cabezas. This is like the kind of one of the last matches I remember before things kind of went a little bit woozy. I know that August got the win,
yeah, he did.
and he did his silly shit. And one of the reasons why I know he got the win is because he posted a Paulie had his meta glasses on and posted the video from that match. And it was really, really cool. But you got to see August on Sunday, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But I just, again, I want to apologize for everybody on day one, as opposed to the ones that I can remember. You know, before we get to really what I want to talk about, which I know you know what I'm talking about. I know that you had the chance, and I did too, but you had the chance to read the review that your partner Larry, who was
Yep,
actually in attendance. I actually got to see Larry
yep.
before the show started. He wrote his review, and the few matches that we didn't get an opportunity to speak about now. Go ahead and remind everybody what we missed and what we can talk about before we go to day two.
One of the ones we missed was Dion Summers getting the win over Jay the Goat and the big brolic cowboy Tyson Maddox, who was making his return after a long time away. Uh, I know you're a little fuzzy on it, kind of hard to miss the BBC, but
I
yeah,
remember him
he's kind of
Sunday.
got a little bit of a yeah. He was there Sunday as well, and he kind of continued Sunday what he kind of got into Saturday. He's got a different mindset, and he's a freight train you don't want to step in front of. for sure. And we'll talk Sunday, who has suddenly gotten his crosshairs. But actually, Deion Summers got the win in that particular one. What else did we miss?
Summertime.
Lamar Diggs getting the win over Cosmos Martinez. Cosmos, who, I mean, my goodness, he not just because of size, he is one of the best luchadors by far in the area. Did everything he could, but you can't overpower Diggs, and Diggs got him in the end. Air Force Diggs
You see what I'm
usually
doing?
wins.
You see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Well, I've only got one wing, but I'm trying to fly in on Air Force Digs.
And in what was outside of the main event, what was Larry's, I guess, second favorite match? Because since he went to this, he gave me a heads up in case anything was going to bleed over into Sunday, so I knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, remarkable Ryan Rembrandt defended his title against Aaron Dallas, but it was a spectacular athletic matchup. And he hoped to actually see that again because he said it was just these two put on a show, and it was one of his favorite matches. Um,
I think he's right.
yep,
I think down the road, even really soon, because I don't think anybody in the world, even Stunt, expected to become three. I mean, probably he did because that's just his mentality. He knows he's good at what he does. But I mean,
yep,
in July, Stunt has an opportunity to can't believe this is real, to slap for the light heavyweight championship. So
yeah,
I'm just not sure if Deep South Wrestling is really in his near future. But Stunt Marshall is the current number one contender for that in our championship. And I was trying to explain after the match that I think Aaron Dallas should get, another opportunity at that title.
yeah.
And I think, I totally agree with you, Jeremy. I think down the road, um, oh shit. I think down the road, that could definitely be something that we might see. But at the same time, I also explained on the microphone on Saturday, and I tried to mention a little bit more on Sunday that Ethan's back. Ethan's back in a few weeks. I mean, maybe less than
Yep.
that. So does that take Aaron out of singles competition where he's absolutely shined and put him back into the tag team division with the Wonder Boys, which they, let's be honest, they were up there for a tag title contention before Ethan got hurt. Sin took Ethan out. Remember
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
And so either way, the future single or tag team for Aaron Dallas and the Dallas brothers is so prominent. Like it really, like I love those guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're great. And it just depends on if Ethan's going to be good out of the gate to go back the same speed he was at, or if they're going to, just kind of stair step him into it to make sure he comes back the right way. Because if they do that, I mean, something we'll talk about from the Sunday show kind of gives a little bit of a buffer on the tag side. Somebody kind of stepped in front of the Dallas boys on Sunday as far as the next shot at Sin, but you can never count them out because if now that we're getting both Dallases back, if they're both somewhere near there, they can easily slide into any tag spot, or you can split them, and you're still going to get two good singles out of it. So we'll just have to see what Deep South has in store for them.
Let's think if the matchmaker for Deep South Wrestling, let's think if he gets crazy and he wants to do a fatal four way. The Wonder Boys, the Northside Heroes, the tag team champions, Strength in Numbers, and the Allen brothers come on back down from Pennsylvania. And they put on a
Ooh,
freaking show inside a Deep South ring. I mean, listen, those are all four prominent tag teams that have been inside a Deep South ring this year.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
there's no telling, Jeremy.
I mean, the good thing is the matchmaker. I mean, we have it on pretty good authority that he's watching this show right now. So maybe he's penciling that in. I don't think Drew's asking for credit on that, but if we were to see it, you at least know where you heard it first. That's
Hell,
that's not a bad idea.
I've heard that rumor long ago. So we'll digress on that. But now as far as night one, anything left that we can discuss, or should we move along to night two to where there's a little bit of, oh wait, fuck, there is something to discuss.
Yeah, I was going to ask if our review so far was violent enough for you yet.
I mean, look, it was just supposed to be a freaking interview, dude. Like it was just supposed to be in
Yeah.
ring, and I like I said, I read Larry's review, and I like
He did say
when you go
you
back
took
and
it like
watch
a
it,
champ. I mean,
it's hard to disagree. I did like I wasn't trying to egg Jacob on. Like my thing I was very clear. We have been swimming in answers for literally months.
yeah,
Sooner or later, you would have thought someone was going to come fishing for answers. And I like when I handed him, like you weren't there, but I attempted to hand him the microphone. He
yeah,
slapped it away. I thought it was just kidding. So I picked it down to give it to him again. I was like, hey, well, we're doing an interview, dude. And he slaps it down again. And right then and there, I got kind of nervous. I was just like, well, okay, well, maybe this wasn't a good idea.
yeah,
But he just wouldn't say much. And then finally, I asked him, you and Chad have been beating the hell out of each other all over this freaking city, and you're supposed to settle the score tomorrow in a Beltline Mania street fight. Jacob, I think
yeah.
I'm asking the same question that everybody here asks. Are you even violent enough for something like this? And next thing I know, Jeremy, he kicks me in my face, and no shit, I wake up in the emergency room.
Yeah.
I didn't have any IVs or anything in me like that. It wasn't like um that drastic, but there was a little, obviously from the videos and from what the doctor said, there was a little bit of internal bleeding. Um that is going to be checked up again. I go back, like I said, I go out of the country on Thursday, but I go back to the doctor tomorrow just to get
Yeah.
checked up on again. I didn't want to pay for any x-rays just because look, my insurance won't cover everything. I mean, an ambulance ride to the hospital was, you know, enough for my wallet
They're not
as it
cheap.
is. And I left with a neck brace. Thankfully, the black eye has gone down a little bit, but hasn't gone down enough for me to not wear these sunglasses. But look, dude, he beat the hell out of me. But I'll be the
Yeah.
first. I have to admit, dude, listen, and this is kind of going away from the topic at hand as far as Jacob himself, but I'm going to put myself over here for just about 30 seconds, maybe less. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 in September. That slam, that world's strongest slam that he delivered to me, it hurt like a fucking bitch, dude. But man, I loved every second of it. Is that weird?
No, because the level of wrestling, it's even hard to say fan, the level that we're on, but it when you get to certain levels involved in the wrestling business, you kind of figured out who's wired different and who's not. And just I tell people from what little bit I've ever been thrown around a ring. Yeah, it hurts, but there's a little bit of it that just you kind of grin when you're getting thrown.
You know,
The only
I
time you don't grin is when you wake up in a hospital.
I agree with you. The forearms to the face, the punches, and of course the kicks to the ribs and the kidneys. That I can't really explain how much that hurt and how much it still hurts. I was a little embarrassed at work today. I came in to the office, you know, looking like I was
Yeah.
in a fucking car accident. But anyways, I don't want to talk about him much more and make him feel important, more important than he's not. Because like I said yesterday, Jacob Johnson, you can go to hell, straight to hell. So we'll move on to night two. What do you think about that? Is that cool for us to do? Anything
Yeah,
left
yeah.
from
Because
night one?
the only other thing I would say is just to remind people, Drew is not a contracted wrestler. He doesn't
No.
train to do these things. He is one of the best media in the world, does all kinds of different sports in all kinds of levels, one of the best play-by-play commentators, everything. He is a media member. He is a
Thank you for
member
that.
of their roster, but he is a media member. He's not a trained pro wrestler. So for Jacob Johnson to cross that line and take out a crew member, basically, somebody who, I mean, is not trained to fight back or know how to fight back, even though I know you can handle yourself in a fight. It's just in that level that should scare any fan at ringside that you should just clear out of his way right now.
What is Jacob? 6'5", 6'6", 280, 275. Just
Somewhere around there.
yeah, but fuck him. Anyways, on to day two, Beltline Mania. Monday Night Garage, one of, if not the new home for Deep South Wrestling, especially the new indoor home for Deep South Wrestling,
Yeah.
and quite the crowd that continues to turn out. It wasn't not that New Realm sucked. New Realm was extremely fun, but it's just
Oh
our
yeah.
second. It's just our second show back in a long time. So we're still trying to get the fans back into a normal routine of showing up once a month on a Sunday. During the summer, it's not an easy thing to do. Damn. But anyways, back to Monday Night Garage. What a day. Extremely fun. We started out the day with, I believe, with the triple threat match.
No, no, no.
No, it was the
The
women. It was the women. Excuse
yep,
me. Excuse me.
yep.
Excuse me. We had Rose Gold, Gemma Jules. See, I'm so a little woozy. Rose Gold, Gemma Jules for the Deep South Women's Championship. And I was about 2, maybe 3 feet away from this. As soon as Rose came out, at that moment, so we thought some random woman out of nowhere just attacks her. And that led to the debut of our brand new general manager.
Yep.
And Jeremy, I am unfamiliar with him. Maybe you are a little bit more familiar than I am. I know Nathan was very familiar with him, and that's no shade to Simon, because he was fucking fantastic.
Yes,
But
he
just
was.
just let everybody know just a little bit, whether you know a lot, whether you know a little, just who Simon is.
Yeah, and in your defense, you and him don't cross paths very often. You guys are always in opposite ends of the state at different times, so you probably haven't crossed paths. But Simon Sermon is not only one of the best wrestlers, performers, minds for this business. Uh, just having him in a leadership role where we immediately found out he was not going to put up with the normal riffraff that normally happens all across the board. He called out a lot of people who people have want to call out. But yeah, Simon is just a national treasure, especially when it comes to anything around the ring. And I'll be honest, most things outside the ring too. He is fantastic. Having him as the authority figure is really going to be fun for the summer.
Well, he made his debut on Sunday, and his first order of business was making a match between Audrey Allen and Jesse, one of our referees, Jimma's henchman, Jimma's.
Concierge.
Okay, I like that. I appreciate that. So he made a match, and if Audrey somehow were to beat Jesse, she would then gain a title shot against Gemma.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So that match began immediately, Audrey and Jesse. And dude, I, that was a fun little, incredible little. I keep saying little because Jesse's shorts and his shirt, which Nathan kept referring to as a disco ball, which I was laughing at, but it was hurting me to laugh, but I couldn't help it. That was a good match, man. I really enjoyed that. Jesse pulling out all the stops to help out his woman, his queen that he calls her, Gemma, even going as far as delivering a stinking moonsault.
Yeah.
And dude, I just thought it was great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I thought it was a good competitive match. Jesse showed a lot of stuff because before now, I've seen him get thrown around the ring, and I've seen him be an official, which is what he is when he's not kissing up to Gemma like that. So I didn't know he had it in him, and suddenly he's standing on the top rope, and here goes the moonsault, and I was like, that's not a bad moonsault at all. That was I didn't know he had it in him. He has some good spots in this one, but in the end, he can't overpower and out technical wrestle somebody like Audrey Allen.
So Audrey ended up picking up the victory over Jesse, and her and Gemma for the championship began immediately. Gemma started off hot. She attacked Audrey, and we both know Gemma and Audrey are no strangers to one another. They have been back and forth for just about a year. But finally,
Yep,
realizing her deep South wrestling dream, Audrey Allen and new Deep South Wrestling Women's Championship. The Audrey Allen era has begun, Jeremy.
absolutely. And for those who are keeping score at home, that is actually the second total victory she has ever had over Gemma. Gemma always finding a way to get the upper hand in all the other ones. The other was a gender reveal match, which was spectacular as well. Go find that one on video. But yeah, I mean, just a great moment for Audrey, who has just been working hard, improving. It just seemed like, every time she would almost get Gemma, Gemma found a way to get the best of her. So for her to be able to best Gemma and take the, don't get it wrong, vacant title at that point, even though
Mhm.
Miss Jules had it in her possession, uh, I look forward to the people that are going to come looking to get a piece of Audrey Allen as soon as possible. It's going to expand the women's division massively, I think.
I totally agree. Like I said, the Audrey Allen era has begun. It's going to be extremely exciting to see who's going to come to Deep South Wrestling, step up to the plate, and even more interesting, what does a future hold for the 6 foot bombshell Gemma Jules? Very, very
Yeah.
interesting to see what lies ahead. Now, fast forward to what was one very exciting matchup, making his Deep South debut. DRP taking on JT Paradox and
Hmm.
Troy Carter. Troy Carter made his debut earlier in the month at Atlanta Dairies at Cream of the Crop, falling short to J Alpha. But this time, Troy Carter picking up the victory over Paradox and DRP. And what was a really, really hard fought matchup. These three beat the hell out of each other.
They do, and even though the Deep South audience is not as familiar with these three, me and you are very familiar out in the West Georgia area, seeing all these guys tear it up along the Georgia-Alabama border and into Tennessee and everywhere else that they've been. But yeah, the educated athlete that is Troy Carter, that package pile driver, I've only seen maybe one person in the past year and a half kick out of that. And unfortunately for DRP, he was not that person. But I mean, Paradox, everything that kid has done in the last year plus, DRP year plus that they've been in this business, it's amazing to see
Chris,
where they are at that point.
yeah, like DRP, Nathan, described his outfit, his get up looking kind of Rick Rude esque, and his entire
Yeah,
performance was Rick Rude esque. I mean, he has a look like him, he has the charisma, he has the in ring ability. We've just talked
yeah,
about Troy Carter, his second go around here in Deep South Wrestling. JT, no stranger to Deep South, one of the runners up for the Rookie of the Year in 2025. That kid is only
hmm
getting bigger as
DRP too.
far as stature. Yeah, DRP. Holy shit, I forgot. JT's only getting bigger, not just in physique, but stature, stamina, and his
Hmm.
in-ring capability is only getting better. That was a banger, like we said. Troy Carter, who I thought almost died in during that match, him and JT got locked up at some sort of
Yeah,
reversal DDT package pile driver. It was whatever it turned out to be. Troy was out for a good minute, but he recuperated and ended up winning the match in very good fashion. Now we got five
yeah.
minutes left before they kick us off here, so we'll go to another fun one. Hollywood Hunter James, August Artois, big strong Mims,
Hmm.
very entertaining. Entertaining as only August can be. Real quick for this one, Jeremy. I think the bright spot, or not the bright spot because it was all bright, but August picked up the win, had his foot on the ropes.
Hmm.
But I think the thing that everybody's going to take away from this one was what happened after the match. We are going to see a Hollywood Hunter James, August Artois one-on-one feud definitely begin here in the near future. But in the nearer future, Big Strong Mims is going to get his hands on Tyson Maddox for what he did.
Boy, Mims just keeps drawing big guy after big guy that just has a problem with him. I don't know what kind of target Mims has on him, but he goes from settling his differences with Lamar Diggs, and then all of a sudden here comes the Brawlick right through the curtain, and you're just, my goodness, Mims, you're gonna have to bring your A game because that is a big fella on the other side.
Really, dude. Tyson gets in the ring to help out his so-called friend, low blows him. Low blows him, meaning Tyson low blows the Mims, beats him down, gets on the stick, talks shit for a while, kicks him while he's down even more, delivers the BBC. Like you said, Mims, who usually does, is going to have to bring his bigger all caps A game for this one. Now on to the semi-main event, and Jeremy, you were in the middle of this one more than anybody, and it was Jacob Johnson and Chad Skywalker in that Beltline street fight. And we've said it a few times already, and we'll say it again, just like we'll say it for the literal main event. These two beat the hell out of each other, where they were breaking glass over their forehead, toolboxes, chairs, crowbars. Chad even brought out a freaking measuring tape. Nathan maybe had the line of the night. He said he didn't know it was that kind of contest. Just great freaking shit, man. Unfortunately for Chad, he came up short. And before the night started,
Yeah.
we found out that the winner of that match would become the new number one contender for the Deep South title. And now we know that is Jacob Johnson.
Yeah, between the semi-main and the main event, they were all over the place, including right in front of the table or right on the table that I was seated at. We had to clear out half a dozen times just to get out of the way. The confetti cannon was a great weapon they used as well. Didn't expect that one until it went off. But yeah, these two all over the arena. Just if it wasn't nailed down, and sometimes if it was, they were going to pick it up and swing it at the other one, and they went to war.
If you want to get a bigger piece of the picture of what we're talking about, go to the Deep South's YouTube channel, click on the live events tab, and watch Beltline Mania Day 2. Now, about 95 seconds to go here, Jeremy. Main event, Nauseatism, Alex Kane 2. I don't really know what else to say other than holy shit. What a match. Every time I see Nauseatism inside the squared circle, I never realize if it's possible, but it is. He just gets better and better and better. And for him to do what for him to come out on top after what Alex Kane did to him for 15 minutes blew me out of the water.
Yeah, former MLW heavyweight champion Alex Kane, by the way.
World heavyweight champion.
World champion.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, they beat the holy hell out of each other too. But Naja has this look and this gear that he just turns on where it's just relentless. It's like, I don't want to call him this because of his size, but he's like deranged squirrel where it's just like a million miles an hour. He's got this look where he's just going to just run slap through you. And he found a way to do that, Alex Kane, and that's why he's still the champ.
Kane putting Naja through two tables. Naja frog splash through a table, pinning Kane 1-2-3 to regain the Deep South Championship. In the summer, at the end of June, early July, Naja will be a 1-year title holder of that Deep South Championship. Jeremy, dude, thank you so much for jumping on. I hate to cut it short, but you know as well as I do, these freaking things don't allow you to do shit for longer than 45, 50 minutes. But brother, listen, we'll get back on here soon. I'm going to be out of the country. I got to get away. I got to heal up. I got to get my mind right. But when I get back, we'll jump back on Rasslin down here.